want to be in the way when they come through. But we're going to start this program right now. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We're going to start with a little bit of music right now and a procession. So please take a look at the center of the screen. '67, '68, '69, '70, '71, '72, '73, '73 and a half, '74, and the Muslim Community Center Academy for that wonderful flag procession. Also, I want to extend thanks to the brothers Muhammad Muaz and Muhammad Farad Jumal Zabadne for that exquisite nasheed recitation. Again, it's my pleasure to be your MC this afternoon. I grew up in this area, so I know a lot of the faces out here in the crowd, and it's always exciting for me to be a part of these kinds of events, so thank you for having me. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Tahira Ahmed. She is a Niles West alumna, a dynamic Muslim scholar practitioner who serves at Northwestern University as the Director of Interfaith Engagement, Associate University Chaplain, and Associate Chair of the Women's Residential College. She will do a recitation from the Holy Quran. Tahira.
It is really an honor to be with you today. It's been about 15 years, so it's kind of like a homecoming for me. I got really emotional sitting here, just watching some of these beautiful children come up representing the diversity of the Muslim world. I went to Niles West High School. I played varsity basketball here. I ran track and I played volleyball. I learned to be a strong Muslim woman here. I also got into a whole lot of trouble too, which my parents are here, I don't want to talk about that. But one of my fears was public speaking. So I took a public speaking class here. And my teachers were so gentle and honorable. They helped me really develop public speaking skills. And I want to tell you that last week, I spoke in front of 300,000 people right here in Chicago at the Women's March. That credit goes to people like Habib Qadri, who was the principal of MCC Full-Time School, Dilnazo Raich, who was my teacher actually when I was a little girl at MEC, and then Niles West and the teachers here. So I want to acknowledge that who we are today is really all of the experiences we've had, and so I want to acknowledge the teachers and the district and all of the incredible people who put together every single day the efforts that really bring about such incredible young people and the dynamic young people that you see in our community. I was able to travel to about 30 different countries in the last 30-some years of my life. And of all of the different countries that I've seen, when I've seen the diversity up here, I remember the one banner I would always see at Niles West High School. It was unity and diversity. And that's what this event and this program is about tonight, or today, excuse me. And I really want to appreciate that coming together is really about recognizing how we are all one, how we are all together. And the verses of the Quran that I was asked to recite represent that. Last week and the week before, we were celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy. And Dr. King stood up for two main things, as you all know: justice and love. Because peace, he believed, came through both of those things. So chapter 4, verse 135 is about justice. It is about standing up for justice, even if it be against our own selves and our own desires. And then the next few verses are about how the divine has created people from different places and tribes and nations so that we may get to know one another. And the most noble of us, the ones who are truly the ones who have the most integrity, are the ones who are most conscientious of each other, who care about each other, and of course, care about the divine and are conscientious of the divine. The Quran is 6,236 verses. I'm only going to recite 2 for you for the sake of time. And these 2 verses are incredibly powerful and beautiful. You will hear pauses in the recitation. Those pauses are meant to be there. The Quran is a contemplative practice. It means that which is to be recited during times of struggle, during times of joy, and in this case, we are celebrating our unity together. So please allow me to share with you these 2 verses, and there will be a breathing through those verses. So take a moment of pause and of peace with me. I welcome you into that. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين بالقسط شهداء ولو على أنفسكم أو الوالدين والأقربين إن يكن أو غنيا أو فقيرا فالله أولى بهما إن يكن غنيا أو فقيرا فالله أولى بهما فلا تتبعوا الهوى أن تعدلوا وإن تلووا أو تعرضوا فإن الله وإن تلووا أو تعرضوا فإن الله كان بما تعملون خبيرا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير صدق الله العظيم آمين.
Thanks for those inspiring words and that beautiful recitation. Thank you, Doctor. Now it's our pleasure to present a special video produced and directed for this year's Coming Together program by community member Michael Agnesanti of Harmonic Media. Michael has donated countless hours on the production of this video following the daily lives of Muslims in our community. So let's sit back and watch this year's Coming Together video.
Different languages and dialects spoken in Skokie and Niles Township, Coming Together, a volunteer project, seeks to highlight cultural diversity in our community. This year we're celebrating Muslim Americans through reading and discussing books and exciting programming for all ages. We'll be exploring Muslim identity. The integration of diverse cultures in our community builds a stronger society. This is what makes Skokie and Niles Township such a unique and welcoming place to live.
My name is Lena Kamulin. I'm in 7th grade and I go to MCC Academy. I'm half Latino, I'm half Arab, I am an American Muslim.
My friends are super supportive. We like to go shopping, we like to go to the woods and just have an adventure. I have friends from, different religions, different cultures. There's always something I can learn from someone else, especially if they have a different viewpoint as me, and I find that very enriching.
I'm a tutor at
Food really brings people together.
Our last name in Arabic is Wafi, and that means cooks or chefs. Food is in our blood.
I opened Peter Inn in 1982.
When my dad first opened the restaurant, my mom was helping him run the restaurant. There were only 3 employees in total.
We've had individuals that have been with us for over 35 years, and so they've become like family. We've been very fortunate to have this family-owned business to be supported by the community.
And it's been a great experience. I mean, we get to know our customers. One of the big reasons they love coming here is because they love seeing the diversity that we have in our restaurants.
Talking about the food, talking about where it came from, talking about our culture, our ethnicity, our religion, it's definitely fostered that sense of community for us here.
Okay, not a trend, also your body can do what?
I love my school and I have amazing friends. Most of them, they're like family to me because I've known them for so long. TU starts as an energy source. Your body first breaks it down into smaller individuals. I work really hard in school because it's going to shape my future and just overall how my life is going to go.
My father and my mother always stressed the importance of an education, and that was the same for the boys and for the girls.
It is very important. The education is still with you, no matter what.
Contrary to some of the myths or the stereotypes, Islam promotes education across and between genders, allows us to be leaders, allows us to speak our mind.
They need rehabilitation, they can't just throw them in jail and be like, okay, this is how you... In the class, Literature of Peace and Nonviolence, it really opened up my eyes to subjects that I didn't even know were even a problem. We have people from all over the place, and it's really interesting to learn about everyone's backgrounds, and it really gives you a whole different side of education.
I've been blessed to be in this community, which is very diverse and very inclusive, so I always felt respected. I always felt like I was in a comfortable and safe environment. And it was an experience, I think, that you can't really get anywhere in this country.
The welcome I see from Skopje and from the neighborhood and from the people here, it makes me feel I am home.
My Muslim culture has really impacted me throughout everything that I do. I'm always thinking about peace and nonviolence, and it's really been a backbone of what I do for this community.
That's what Islam is. It's not just a religion, it's a way of life. So it tells us how to act, how to feel. There's always a solution, there's always remedies to certain problems.
You should have good character, you should be patient, you should be kind to other people.
It's important for me as a Muslim American woman to share what I know, the knowledge that I have, and to hopefully be a role model for other Muslim American women.
We go into each conversation implementing the idea like peace and nonviolence, or whenever you hear something, you actually speak up. That can influence other people, and then they can go influence other people. Like Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. Start with yourself and then influencing other people.
Now it's my honor to introduce you to one of the founders of Coming Together. Please put your hands together and welcome the First Lady of Skokie, Susan Van Dusen.
Salam alaikum. Welcome. And thank you for joining us. I'm going to get right to it. People have asked, why have you chosen to honor the Muslim Americans this year? I'll tell you, more than a year ago, I received a phone call from a Muslim friend, an American citizen who lives 2 blocks away from me in Skokie. She told me that her 2nd grade daughter came home crying and said, "Mommy, do we have to move?" And she said, "Why, sweetheart? Why would you say that?" And she said, "The kids are telling me that." And my friend asked, what should she say to her child? And I said, tell her that you don't have to move. Tell her that she is safe here, that you are welcome here, and that this community will take care of you. Neither children or adults should feel threatened by travel bans or bullied by backlashes. began looking into the American Muslim community in Niles Township and discovered a peaceful, thriving, and exciting group of people, professionals, workers, students, teachers, parents who want what we all want, a safe place to live and good schools for our children. And that is exactly what we look for at Coming Together. And so we chose to get to know our neighbors to celebrate the American Muslims in Niles Township this year. Our goal in this culturally diverse township is to dispel the fear of the unknown by bringing in authors, reading and discussing common books at all age levels. We get to know and understand a bit more about our neighbors, and that can inspire friendship and hope. Our project involves every major institution in Niles Township, Skokie, Lincolnwood, Morton Grove, and Niles, every library, including Oakton Community College, the high schools, the governmental units, and businesses, and it is all volunteers. No one is king or queen. We all get together and we all give what we can give. And every activity in your activity booklet is free, except for one, which costs $3. I'm sorry. But most important this year, we got to know Dilnaz Warich and Habib Quadri of the Muslim Community Center Academy in Skokie and Morton Grove. Now, these are two of the most active, optimistic, and hopeful people I have ever known, and I am old. Under their leadership, they have brought a treasure trove of valuable volunteers from the Muslim community to make this program possible. In fact, everything that you see today and everything that is in this booklet, which I shall hold up, is what they want to share with you. The Coming Together Committee, and we meet every month and then have smaller committee meetings all through the month. We simply act as a resource to help bring you their message. And the two people who make this entire project work are Rosamund Bonpori and James from District 219 high schools. In the next 2.5 months, we hope you will attend these programs for all ages. Reading discussions, art, food demonstrations, movies, panel discussions, and more. Now, because it is impossible to mention everyone who worked on this, will all those who have partnered with us, perhaps you want to raise the lights again, will all those who have participated in the Coming Together Committee and in the programs and our sponsors, will you all please rise? Thank you very much. And now, this is our 9th year. I can't believe we've been doing this for 9 years. And I have the pleasure of introducing you to representatives of all the previous cultures we have celebrated over the past 8 years. And they stay with us. They're a part of our committee because once you've been touched by coming together, you are one of us forever. So, Asian Indian Usha Kamaria. She's one of the founders of Coming Together in Skokie. Aha, it was hiding. Almira Astudillo Giles from the Philippines. Vasily Shumanov, Assyrians. Christina Kastranakis from Greece. Korea Byung Kim Voices of Race. Rosalio Bueno Jr., Latinos and Hispanics. The Chinese community, Sai Fen Lin. And now they will welcome you in their native tongue.
Namaskar. Coming together in Skokie and Niles Township के इस महोत्सव पर आप सबका स्वागत है।
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat at mabuhay.
Pagdamot Shlamov Shena.
안녕하세요. 커밍 투게더 행사에 함께 해주셔서 진심으로 감사드립니다.
Welcome to Coming Together in 2018.
Hola amigos, bienvenidos a todos.
欢迎。
Thank you very much. Please take part in all of our programs over the next 2.5 months. Please enjoy the rest of this program. Remember, we're all family. We are all one. And now, please welcome Sophia Abdullah.
Of beauty is one way. See, the thing is, don't your time fly so fast? So stop saving yourself for another day. You won't be able to live life if you're stuck in the past, regretting every action cause you weren't good enough. Striving for perfection will only make you weak, cause it's impossible in an imperfect world. Perfection is a myth that leads to unwritten standards that creates these judgment bangers that we now call uncles and aunties, circulating the rumors that only the fools will believe. That tends to be everybody nowadays, because everybody be hate. Look what Satan progressively created. We're only human. Everything that we do is in great tint. So stop acting like God sprinkled you in Zamzam water, because you ain't no saint. Y'all only mad, because I said it so blatant. Take a look around, and you'll find what you won't see. So mind your own deeds, stop looking at me. We pay too much attention to him, her, they, she, and it, and what they're thinking. Oh, we keep on forgetting what the real purpose in life is. The holy journey to Allah, led in effort and faith, not perfection. The challenge of beauty is one you face for all. Perfect protocol doesn't have to be that way. See, the thing is, at times we're all we have to start lifting each other up. It's the only way. Perfect protocol.
You just heard Sophia Abdullah, a Niles West senior who will be starting at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign in the fall. Go Illini, sorry, shout out from my alma mater. Sophia has lived in the Niles West community for 6 years now after moving from Chicago. She wrote Perfection in an Imperfect World, representing Niles West for the 2017 Muslim Interscholastic Tournament, also known as The Mist. You also saw Sophia in the video earlier. A big round of applause for our budding artist. And now I'd like to invite Skokie Mayor George Van Dusen to please say a few words. Mr. Mayor.
follow Sophia again. What a wonderful, inspirational young lady. And she really represents just exactly what this gathering is all about. What it is that we are all working hard to do. This afternoon, I have the daunting task of introducing many elected and appointed officials who have gathered with us today to show their and our solidarity with what my wife described so eloquently. From the Skokie Village Board, I'm proud to say trustees Randy Roberts, Edie Sue Sucker, Ralph Klein, and Karen Gray Keeler are with us. Our great village clerk, Pramod Shaw, our Director of Communications, Ann Tennis, our Police Chief, Tony Scarpelli, and the Chairman of our Human Relations Commission, Will Evans, are in attendance today. I would also like to introduce others in the community who represent institutions and many of whom are elected as well. The head of the Skokie Public Library, Richard Kahn. Three members of the Niles Township Board, Mark Collins, Don Gelfand, and Bonnie Agnosante. From the Skokie Park District Board, Mo Yames. From the District 219 Board, Rich Ivanis and Joe Nowak. And please give a special round of applause to Niles Township District 219 Supervisor, Dr. Isue. Also from School District 67, Superintendent Beth Flores. And also the Superintendent of School District 73.5, Kate Donegan. My wife Susan expressed both of our sentiment and that of all of the elected officials. Let me just simply recite something that is a motto of the Village of Skokie and of the Coming Together Committee. Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. What we attempt to achieve in Niles Township through all of the elected, appointed officials, all of the community organizers, all of our educators, is working together for the success of all of us, regardless of where we come from. And we all come from somewhere different around this world, and it's something we must never, ever forget. And I'm proud today to introduce to you my colleagues from the other communities in Niles Township, the Mayor of Niles, Andy Shabillo, the Mayor of Lincolnwood, Barry Bass, and also I would like to call up to the stage the Mayor of Morton Grove, if he has arrived as yet, Dan DeMaria. Friends, please come on up. Andy, Barry, come on up. You can see they're shy about public speaking. An unusual characteristic in my profession. Mayor Bass.
Hello, welcome. On behalf of the Village of Lincolnwood, I welcome you. I also have some fellow board members, Trustee Jaiswal Patel, if you give us a wave, stand up. Trustee Jean Halevi is in the crowd, I saw her earlier. And I want to thank everyone involved, including all mentioned by Mayor Van Dusen of Skokie, especially Rosamond Banpuri. So, Lincolnwood and the rest of Niles Township, Skokie, are celebrating the heritage and cultures of Muslims in America. Islam and Muslim Americans have had a rich impact on Americans since the founding of our country. And I said this before, but I did not know. Thomas Jefferson and John Adams each have their own copy of the Quran. Muslim Americans helped build our country and found our communities. In fact, the skyline of Chicago that every tourist that sees before they land and touch ground at O'Hare Airport was the result of a Muslim American, Fazlur Rahman Khan, who designed the Sears Tower and John Hancock Center. That's big. Our village is blessed with a growing Muslim population, a community from which I have met and befriended many great people. Their devotion to their faith, their children's education, and their service to others is truly inspiring. So, I am proud, very proud to announce the future 2018 opening of the Sacred Learning Center, 2900 West Devon Avenue, which will serve as Lincolnwood's first mosque, a place of worship and education for our growing Muslim community. After a 3-year search and over a year of construction, this will finally become a reality. So, I want to just give a shout out of praise. I know they don't need it, they don't want it, but shout out to Saeed Sharif, Dr. Hussein Sattar, and the entire community that has a stake in helping this project take off. As mayor, I have the deepest respect for observance of religion. The ability to worship freely, in comfort and in peace, supporting the distinctness of a rich culture, religion, dress, and modesty, integrated and respected in our village with unity and friendship. That's what I encourage. I look forward and encourage everyone else to take advantage of the 60+ events around our community to learn more about and celebrate this great religion and culture. And I'll end on this little universal teaching. Who is a truly wise person? And one can answer, one that can learn from all others. That person is truly wise. And sometimes it's very difficult to achieve and open up and hear and educate yourself from other people. So, lifelong learning is the key to growth, happiness and understanding, and is an attitude I strongly espouse. So, thank you all for coming together. We should continue and unite in more events like this. So, thank you.
Thank you for having me here. I'm the Mayor of Niles, and I applaud all of our efforts to show the beauty and peace that is among us. You know, it's about love and understanding is what it is. The fact is, we are all different, but we are all the same. And it is through understanding that we can come together and become a beautiful community of one. Listen not to those dark voices who try to weaponize our differences. It is about knowing who you are and who your neighbor is, and that's what we're trying to do here today. You know, we shouldn't be quick to judge unless we fully understand. And I remember in the 60s, there were culture wars going on in America, and one of the things that came out from those wars, culture wars, was a rock musical called Hair. And in that rock musical, I remember one refrain. It wasn't music, it was spoken word. There were two young women who were being browbeaten by their parents because their parents didn't understand what they were trying to embrace, the difference of love and peace. And one young woman says to the other, when I have kids, I'm going to say to them,
Child, be whoever you are, do whatever you want to do, but never ever hurt somebody. And it goes back to the culture wars in Vietnam and the whole thing. But it speaks to what we're trying to do here today in our community. It's about love and understanding. And as much as we can do that, we will embrace each other. Thank you.
I would like to introduce one very special dignitary who has joined us today. The Indonesian Consulate, Consul General Rosmawati Khalid, Vice Consul Diane Arifin, and Council for Information, Social and Cultural Affairs, Fajar Youssef. Thank you for joining us today. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our fighter in the U.S. House of Representatives, someone who never sits back and lets anybody be attacked, somebody who we always can count on to stand up for us and for our values of inclusion. Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky.
To be here with all of you. Salam alaikum. I want to congratulate Mayor Van Dusen, all the mayors that are here today, and really the mother of this coming together for 9 years, Susan Van Dusen, and also the sign that I see everywhere around town that says, Skokie welcomes everyone. Skokie welcomes everyone. I believe this is true of all of Niles Township as well, and I know that it's not just a slogan. Even here with Coming Together Now, there will be these continuing through the next few months opportunities for us to get together, learn more about each other, learn more about the Muslim religion. So today, actually a year ago yesterday, less than a week into his presidency, and on the same day as Holocaust Remembrance Day, Donald Trump tried to blow out the torch that is held by the Statue of Liberty as he attempted to institute his now notorious Muslim ban. This illegal and immoral policy will go down in the annals of American history as an embarrassing and hateful blemish, a sad reminder of how far we still have to go to become the country that we want to be. And I say that also as a first-generation American. In those same But here's the good news, because in those same accounts that are written in history, they will have to write about how America reacted to the Trump Muslim ban. They will write about the tens of thousands of Americans of all religions and ethnicities and backgrounds who rushed to the airport to welcome refugees and to protest President Trump's bigotry. I was proud to head out to the airport and see so many people there that were simply standing up and saying no, not in this country. They will brag about the immigration lawyers who immediately lent their services at no cost to those who are seeking entry into our country. And on one of the darkest days in recent political memory, Americans gave us more than enough reason to hope. I was so proud and continue to be proud to stand not only with the Muslim community, but the kind of bigotry that we are seeing directed in so many ways in this country. We need to stand together hand in hand and say, this is America. This is what America looks like. Thank you so much for being here today and standing
one of our great fighters and champions in Springfield, State Representative Louis Lang.
Thank you, Mayor. What a great pleasure to be here with all of you today. And before I go further, let me introduce to you my partner in Springfield, State Senator Ira Silverstein. I am blessed to represent this community. I've represented it for 30 years. It's a labor of love. When I go to Springfield, I get to tell people that I represent the most diverse community in the state of Illinois. I tell people that only have one language spoken in their district, that I have 90 languages spoken in my district. They wonder how we all get along, and I tell them, come on up to Skokie and Lincolnwood and Morton Grove, we'll show you how we get along. But yet it's baffling to me that people who profess to love America don't always love Americans. We can do better, right? This community is a shining example to the state of Illinois and to the entire country of what people can do living together, respecting our cultures, and learning from each other. I proudly represent you. I proudly consider all of you my brothers and sisters, and let us continue to work together to make our community as strong as it can be and to show others what they ought to be doing all over this fine country. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Lang. You know, for the last 20 years I've been a journalist and I've told countless stories, and I found that the most compelling stories come directly from the people who have lived those stories in their own voices, which is why I'm so excited at this time to present to you the Student Voices video created for us by the Muslim Student Association of Niles North High School. This is an all-student production with special credit to Tina Intarapanut and Subul Khan. Let's take a look.
Growing up in the Muslim community, I've been surrounded by beautiful Arabic calligraphy and
really passionate about it is the fact that you get to help humans, and I just love helping people. Islam is just a very humanitarian religion, and I think all humanitarian passion for me.
As Muslims are often ostracized from political spheres, I use my position to showcase that Muslims have valuable ideas, perspectives, and insight to offer.
As in engineering, I've been part of Science Olympiad, and it helped me gain required skills such as science and math. I've been also taking engineering courses throughout my Principles of Engineering and IED.
My passion is entertaining people. I love being around people. I love talking to people, building relationships, and I like theater. Being a member of the Muslim community makes me feel like I need to do more. I need to show people that just because you're Muslim doesn't mean that you can't do fine arts, that you always have to be serious. It's a stereotype that Muslims are serious people. It's not true. We're actually very diverse. There's like over 70 different types of Muslims.
I have been very supportive of my decision as being an engineer, but I know there's a lot of people in our community who would disagree because I'm a female and I would become an engineer. Our culture is very narrowly pursued by females and males. So I want to be able to break that barrier and be an inspiration to our Muslim women.
I've been teaching myself technique the past 3 years, and I've designed more than a dozen logos and shirt designs for organizations like Dance Marathon, DECA, Muslim Student Association, and lots of others. Perfect balance in design and gaining that recognition afterwards is what makes me so passionate about it.
I want to show people that you don't have to be a certain skin color to be up on stage. It doesn't matter whether you're white, brown, black. It's your impact. It's what you do for the people when you're up on stage. What you show. How you can make someone's audience feel like they can be safe.
It's my obligation to restore justice by embracing the role of an advocate and activist. I turn to our school student government to bring about change through equity initiatives. And I'm grateful to work alongside a team of dedicated leaders who amplify student voice.
In helping everyone, not just Muslims. I'll always go out of my way to help anyone that's struggling or needs help in any sort of way that I can to the best of my capabilities.
Most Muslim women like Dr. Haj Mohammed, Linda Sur, and of course our very own Shirley Walla, and many more. They all were determined to get out their comfort zone, and I know we as Muslim women can break that barrier together by following our own passion and not let our culture determine.
I use my graphic design and art to express myself, and I think as a Muslim youth, it's important to use that art to bring attention to what's important within my community.
Our Skokie community, because it really brings together people, it shows people different perspectives, and especially since Skokie is such a diverse place, it's very nice to have people that are, willing to help each other.
All be coexist. Coexistence is one thing that us as a society needs to learn to do. We need to live with each other, we need to accept our differences, and we need to expand on that. Our differences are our strengths. Our similarities are just similarities at the end of the day. It doesn't change. Change is what we need, change is what's going to progress us, change is what's going to bring us all together.
Tasleem is an interdisciplinary artist, performer, poet, journalist, fashion designer, actor, and educator. Her body of work focuses on social action and community healing, as well as revitalization. She's performed her works across the United States, as well as in Europe, Africa, and Canada, and she continues to tour worldwide. Dear friends, I present to you Tasleem Jamila.
Research shows over 1 million African Americans were enslaved or Muslim. So many are walking around today and don't know that they're from that lineage. We come from original alchemists with healing wrists, mixing herbal remedies with the cure for all this. The strong never hit a miss. On our own, the village's bliss. A lineage of legacies, we so resilient. Brain circuits bursting with our brilliance. Overachievers, overabundance, we worth more than zillions. Land loaded with golden minerals, with no pesticides or chemicals. Brain rituals for a fruitful feast. Cultivating crops, we know how to make that wealth increase, so we'll no longer take rotten produce with dirty floors. You can't mop up our digging no more, so we're Moors that's out the door. It's a new time and a new season. Everything happens for a divine time and a divine reason. It's the quickening, the awakening, the uncaging of our rage, and that's why I stand with a smile on my face. Because I know there are plans and plots for only Allah's grace. See, I carry the spirit of Sojourner Truth, Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey's breasts and their scars, but a spiritual warrior without the chains and the bars. See, I come from freedom fighters who walked all the way from Mississippi to Canada. Man, we've come so far. A people of soul, a people so whole, a people so bold, a people of the right, a people who can fight, because we can navigate you through any ghetto of land, from Chicago to Sudan, from France to the slums of Pakistan, because we are survivors of the whips on our back and the blood and the blisters on our hands, and we will save our babies any way that we can. See, not all of us are asleep. There's some giants that are woke. See, we scraping our brothers and sisters out of the street as they choke. Cause some of them have given up all hope. Yet the world still imitates us. My lioness blueprint, the ink that we sense. See, we're the devil slayers, those in constant prayer. So if you scream equality for all humanity, then you should not sleep. Because I won't sleep until all of us are free. Next poem is dedicated to Malcolm X. We're still screaming for freedom, 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 freedom. Free like when brains stained and chained with pollution are unchained. Allah said, leave self and come to me. Shed self like snakes shed skin, so you may see like you submit to a doctor's treatment. So did he. Piercing lights that still gleam through nighttime screams, but in darkness and trials forms a warrior's dreams into reality with strength and courage that seep through the seams, unlocking and unfolding a reality that still beams. Never weak, he speaks from that ancient antique heat from the soul. So divine, reminded blind minds it's time to be bold. See, he was straight on the path, so he never fold. Natural foods that exude from his body so he wouldn't corrode. Decoding codes of deception and rejection. It felt like some might just explode, but he was foretold that he'd be bestowed to unload these warrior oaths. Don't you know he had a spiritual flow and glow that made his voice superb? Like golden silk herbs on African fields, he healed with his words. From Tennessee to overseas, they still read Malcolm X on the streets by the curb. Clear message with his voice so your soul's not disturbed. He was real for all times, quite clever but never absurd. And voice so beautiful like a beautiful herb. Malcolm X, one of the greatest you've ever heard. You see his chest, breath, beat, freedom, cause he really wanted to free them. Some people really didn't see him. La ilaha illallah, never looked back. Love, black, shook, crack, and shaitan attacked. He emptied his soul of self and God resided. So man or woman can't deny or hide it. He was more than just a guide, and like a new bride with pride, Allah illuminated him worldwide. See, he was martyred in Harlem, raised to rank with much honor, more fonder than the kings and the scholars, causing commotions across oceans. They even throwing up X's in Africa and Europe, submitting to Allah's sincere devotion. See, then they only had a piece of the peace. Path of Islam living, it'll never cease. Man's flesh may perish, but the revolution never ceases. Rise up like yeast, it only expands and increases. See, we feast on truth. We obese in this beast. The armies only increase with his decease. See, his time was written on this physical plane, and no man can take what Allah has ordained. I said, our time is written on this physical plane, and no man or woman can take what Allah has ordained. I heard freedom in the soul, so I chased it. No demise can take, rise or erase it. I heard freedom in the soul, so I chased it, chased it, chased it. We're still screaming for freedom. We're still screaming for freedom. We're still screaming for freedom, freedom, freedom. I want to be like those who are bold. They draw their power from their souls. And they know that this physical existence comes with many tests as a means to connect us to our real spiritual being before our physical bodies at rest. Don't you know God wants us to discover our very best? It's not just about preaching or teaching. It's about digging deep down inside your soul and reaching. And then you will be a true one for real. And your transition from this life to the next, well, it'll be a natural ordeal. It'll be like walking from this room to the next. See, this thing is not complex. It's about conquering your ego in this life so you function from your soul. And then your mind, body, spirit will be whole. Now that's real. Freedom, freedom, freedom.
Just heard KM, a Chicago-based hip-hop artist and son of a Libyan revolutionary. His Contraband Showcase was named by Yahoo Music as one of the 6 best things at South by Southwest. Thank you, KM, for that amazing performance. Now, Kahari Lemuel will perform 2 beautiful pieces. Kahari, hopes to one day rise into heaven on a cloud of musical composition. For him, music is a daily meditation, an altar where he can unfold the purpose of his life. Kahari, the stage is all yours.
Words can say in my own sincere, special way. I'll clothe these words in song of you until you really know it's true. The whole of you I do adore, and every day I love you more and more. There's nothing you can do to change the love in me for you. It's true, I love you, I do, I do, I do. Oh, it's true, I love you, I do. More than words can say, how I love you so. Not a moment do I wish to let you go. As the dawn unveils the light and morning glow, let me whisper in your ear and let you know I love you more than words can say. My love is growing stronger every day, so much more than these words could ever convey. I'm just trying to tell you in a special way. I love you more than words can say. In my own sincere, special way, I'll call these words in song anew until you really know it's true. I love you, I do, I do, I do. Oh, it's true that I love you, I do. More than words can say. In my own special way, you're the best gift love can give. Love gave me you and I'm so glad it did. Like the sunlight pouring through the window pane. When love came in, darkness could not stay. Ever shall it be? My love shall not be moved just like a tree, planted by waters of peace and happiness. In this place I know the reason I am blessed is love more than words can say. In my own sincere special way, I'll pull these words in song anew until you really know it's true. I love you, I do, I do, I do. Oh, oh, it's true that I love you, I do. More than words can say in my special way. More than words can say in my special way. Thank you. One more short one, a little bit, just a little piece of the one. It gets me up to go. I wake up and hear birds singing, how the wind moves me so. People moving and grooving in their special way. Can you feel it in the morning? It's a lovely day. Gonna keep my head up and live with a smile on my face. I'm too bright When you're living in a world like this, there's no time to frown. I'm gonna keep my head up and live with a smile on my face. I'm too bright to let light go to waste. You can live in this beautiful place. Come with me. When there are clouds in the sky, it's alright. Sometimes we have to cry. Sometimes we won't see eye to eye, eye to eye. Oh, there ain't no reason to worry at all. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm gonna keep a smile on my face. I'm too bright to let night go to waste. You can live on this beautiful place. Come with me. Thank you.
All right, can you believe it? After 6 months, the day is here.
Wow, so for 6 months, pretty much every month we've had a planning meeting for coming together. It's been the Lincolnwood, Niles, Skokie, Morton Grove, leadership from libraries, houses of worship, businesses, schools getting together and to plan this event. And yeah, we're here now.
Can you believe it? Now, did you get to check out some of the festivities before the event?
You know what's really impressive? I actually went upstairs and I looked at the art gallery and I was looking at all the artwork around the floors of Niles West, and I was thinking, wait a second, this is really impressive. So then I picked up this booklet. Does everyone have a booklet? Okay, wave your booklet. If you open up to page 11, on the page 11, I really want to do a shout out for our artists. So we've got Seven Sakura, who did Hebrew paper marbling. We have Heidi Naguib, who came all the way from Washington, D.C., who highlights her photography. We have Sadaf Sayed, who's got photography on Muslim American women. We have modern wall art upstairs displaying their calligraphy artwork. We have Zishan Farouk, who's displayed her calligraphy. We have Summer Masood, our own District 219, focusing on her calligraphy on glass. And then we have our very own Niles North students displaying artwork throughout Niles West.
I love those students.
Pretty impressive.
Well, while you were checking out the art display,
I can just imagine.
I was checking out the food.
Thought so.
Right, and the artifacts. Everybody knows I love food. There were more than 23 different vendors and artifacts and foods, and boy, did I enjoy. I have some right now. Would you like some?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, I'll keep the samosa for myself. And the pita. But I want to make sure for all the individuals who haven't got to see it after the event, it's still going to be open for an hour. But I want to thank our PSG, our parent support group from the MCC Academy. They were awesome. Shabnam Mahmoud and Ola Chaudhry for taking the lead. And the local restaurants from Divan and our local area, Skokie and Morton Grove, thank you so much. So please make sure you go there, check it out, support those businesses and support those people, because that was some amazing stuff and I'm going back.
And make sure you also check out the artwork in the gallery upstairs. So we're going to be around, everyone will be around until at least 3:30, I think. But do check those pieces of art out.
So talking about contributions, I know that the mayor talked about the skyline. What's that?
Yeah, so we were pretty fortunate, Mayor, to highlight the two iconic buildings right here in Chicago, created by the architectural genius, Fazl Rahman Khan. So when you think about Chicago, you think about Sears Tower and you think about the John Hancock Building, and they were created by a Muslim.
Talking about architecture, also, Chicago, my kind of town, this whole Chicagoland area, has the most Muslim masjids and organizations in the whole United States, maybe the top 2 cities, and which is amazing. And one of the first masjid that was built on 47th Street was by the Muslim icon. Let me give you an idea. Who could that be?
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. So this is some amazing things. But Chicago's been amazing in many ways. In 1893, because I'm a history teacher, taught at Niles North High School. People and their culture. All right, and they, you know, you had an individual, 1893, by the name of Mr. Russell Webb, did the opening prayers at the Parliament of World Religions in 1893, just like what Tahira did. The individual in 1893. So, did you know that?
So actually, Muhammad Webb was the first convert Muslim in America.
Nice, nice, nice. But also, now, for a lot of people, Sundays is important. Yes, you know, some people go to church, but guess what's happening next Sunday?
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Now, almost like the last 30 seconds, there was a chance that the Jacksonville Jaguars would have made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But, you know, a guy by the name of Tom Brady made that disappear. But if that happened, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars is a guy by the name of Shahid Khan, the first Muslim owner of the NFL. Did you know that?
Talk about innovation and creativity. And when we're talking about Chicagoland icons, we would be remiss if we forgot to remind everyone that last year's 2017 MacArthur Genius Award winner was Dr. Rami Nashashibi, the Executive Director of Inner City Muslim Action Network. So our last three performers were from Iman. So big shout out to Iman for having the performers coming and also for the MacArthur Genius Award winner in 2017.
Love it, love it. And also, you know, when there's celebration, you know, us Muslims, we love to eat. So I had to go back. But did you know, like, you know, hopefully all these individuals who have helped us out, we might be mailing you something because there's a famous company called Edible Arrangements. Did you know that Tariq Fareed is the owner of, the founder of Edible Arrangements?
A healthy gift choice.
Yes, yes, yes. And also, they're famous.
Oh, the fencer, the Olympian fencer.
Ibtihaj Muhammad is a very famous Olympian fencer, and also the first Muslim hijabi Barbie doll will be made after her.
That's true. And while we're highlighting Muslims, we need to be remembrance of mathematicians as well. So the Persian mathematician Al-Khwarizmi helped us understand algebra and geometry. So the letter X that we use in algebra, the unknown, came from Al-Khwarizmi. And also, when we talk about geometry and understanding geometric equations, he was the one that put together Latin, Greek, Arab culture together and helped us understand more about math.
So hopefully in these next month and a half, more than 50 events, we want you to go and have a better understanding of the Muslim cultures. So please go ahead and attend and thank all these individuals that played a part. So talking about people that played a part, it has to start with leadership. And I want to thank the mayor of Van Dusen and the mayor of Morton Grove, Niles, and Lincolnwood for making this happen. So let's give them a big round of applause.
So if we turn to the last page, I'm going to keep reflecting on this book because it's such a highlight of the Coming Together programs. If you go back all the way to the last page, page 35, you're going to see over 50 people that have been an integral part for the last 6 months of putting Coming Together together. Obviously. And then we talked about mayors. We have to obviously recognize our First Lady, Susan Van Dusen. Thank you very much.
She is awesome.
Definitely. And then we've got to recognize our leadership in District 219 with Rosamond Buttigieg and Jim Shapaniak. Thank you very much. And our Skokie Library Director, Jim Kong. This couldn't have happened without you, and founding our information into literacy was very important.
Nice. So there are many individuals, from even Mr. Michael Aganasanti for making that amazing thing. Now, when you're talking about coming together, they also, their family sponsors a refugee. It takes their time to help them out. So I really want to thank them. The Muslim American community, there are several organizations. We want you to please look at the booklet. Then also the past participating cultures. It's very important that we have to recognize them and we got to see them. The libraries played a big part, and the school districts and education institutions, and there's so many of them. They have been recognized. We want to give them a big round of applause for helping this happen.
Stand up. If you're part of the Coming Together planning classic, we'd love for you to stand up, please.
So,
go ahead and stand up.
It's going to get tough, but thank you so much.
And lastly, to make sure you don't put this booklet away after today, please use it for the next 3 months. There's so many items in here that you need to highlight.
So again, on behalf of the Muslim community, we want to thank all of you for making this program happen, and hopefully this next month and a half be successful. And again, thank you to the leadership and the civic leaders of these great 4 cities. So with this, we are going to get to the last two final events. So please stay
All right, and now we're coming to neighbors and their cultures. Thank you to all the wonderful artists who shared their powerful performances with us today. After this last performance, we invite you to continue to visit the various booths from many different countries around the world outside and meet a few more of our neighbors. Now let's enjoy a beautiful nasheed performance of Bismillah, directed by Danelle Bergeson and Silva Sheikh, with vocals from the MCC Academy Choir, Sarah Haiji and Sophia Abdullah. This will be followed by Peace Train, written by Cat Stevens, also known as Yusuf Islam. The piece is also directed by Danelle Bergeson, with solos by Danelle along with Sophia Abdullah and Sarah Haiji. They're performing with the MCC Academy Choir, Niles West High School choral students, and members of the Baha'i House of Worship Choir of Wilmette under the musical direction of Val Gilmer. On the guitar is William Kim, and on percussion, Hyra Witter. Thank you all for coming out to today's beautiful celebration of our Muslim American community. Assalamu alaikum, and peace be with you.
I know this is, this is the last performance, so he won't be coming back out, but we want to thank Ashraf Qureshi, who I kind of grew up with. You were my
He grew more than I did.
And on behalf of District 219, the program, we will be sending you some medical arrangements. But at the same time, we know that your wife is very, has our, plans and all those specific things. So there's a small little gift for you, a bamboo. It's very nice to you.
Thank you so much. I'm not supposed to eat this, right?
Yeah, do not eat the canary.
This is not an edible.
Yeah, this is not the edible right?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Is this live? Okay, great. Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much for your patience. We're so glad that we had the opportunity to sing for you. At this time, I'm inviting some other guest singers that I have asked to join us. I happen to sing with the Baha'i House of Worship Choir. That's one of the places that I continue to be able to work my instrument, which is my voice. And so I've asked some of the choir to join us today. Van, if you can give a little wave. Van. Van is the director at the Baha'i House of Worship, and some of you may have seen him. He's very active in interfaith events. I also have my soloists here, Sarah Baiji and Sophia Abdullah, who you heard earlier. And over here, I have Hyra Ritter and William Kim, who are part of the Rock and Roll Club here at Niles West High School. So let's give them a round of applause as well. And all three of these mics, so I just want to make sure that they're all turned on. There was a third one somewhere. Oh, finally, hopefully I can't see, but are the words up there for you guys? Peace Train? All right, they will be. So, okay, great. So just quickly, we're going to run through the chorus because I want you to sing with us. So, and I need all the help I can get because my voice is going. So let's have, William's going to help us. William's got the mic ready to go, so do you want to give us a little intro, and then we're just going to sing the chorus for the audience. We'll just sing through the chorus one time. Oh, peace train sounding louder, glide on the peace train. Ooh, come on, the peace train. Oh, peace train, holy roller, everyone jump up on the peace train. Ooh, come on, the peace train. Great, you guys did awesome. Now we're going to start it. If you feel like standing, please do. I know we have some Niles West High School kids that Sophia recruited for me, so feel free to stand up and join us as well. Get on your feet if you want to stretch, that's fine. All right, let's take it away.